Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I am Martin Staunton. Melinda Zosh is standing by live at one of the biggest high school football rivalries in the two Virginia as that 2022 season kicks off this evening. The Friday night lights are being turned on all across the two Virginias tonight, and none may shine brighter than those at Mitchell Stadium, where the Graham G-Men and the Bluefield Beavers are preparing to face off in front of a capacity crowd. Fans are expected by the thousands, and that's where our Melinda Zosh joins us now live. So, Melinda, you met two super fans this week, huh?
I certainly did, Martin, and super fans is definitely the right word. So this week I met two men who have been following these teams for decades, and for one man, he loves the Graham G-Men. In fact, that love goes all the way back to the 1960s when he was just 14 years old.
1963, I attended my first Graham Beaver game. I haven't missed but one since.
The one time Gene Leedy did miss a game.
I was in the stands one night and I had a sugar drop, and I woke up in the hospital an hour later, and I asked my wife, well, what was the score?
So I hope someone gave him the score at that point.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if we came back to the game or not, but he had to know all the details for sure.
And the Leedys have all kinds of G-Men gear too, including this blanket. But perhaps the most impressive thing isn't anything out on display, but rather it's something you will hear.
But there's one thing for sure. Don't matter who wins or who loses this week, I always tell the Beaver fans, we're G-Men born and G-Men bred, and when we die, we'll be G-Men dead, singing hurrah, you G-Men, G-Men, hurrah, you G-Men, G-Men, hurrah, you G-Men, G-H-S.
And with that, we'll take you from Mitchell Stadium to the home of the Beavers. At Bluefield High School, there are trophies on display presented by the Great American Rivalry Series from 2015 for the championship, 2017, 2018, and the most recent one presented to Bluefield High School for 2019.
This was supposed to be a punt, but rather than the punt, they snapped the ball back to this man who gave it to this guy, and the entire team shifted to the right, except for the ball carrier who went 40 yards for a touchdown to the left. They were
and here in these hallways, you'll meet English teacher Larry Hypes.
There's your boomerang play from 1962. Tim Sarver, number 11, scored the touchdown that got Beaver going, and they won 22-6.
And if you can't tell, well, just spend 5 minutes listening to him. His love for the Beavers and the history of the team is obvious. It's a rivalry Hype says dates back to about 1911. That's a long rivalry, more than 100 years.
Well, indeed it is. To look back at this rivalry, it's a thrill a minute. You never know who's going to win it, but it's always fun. And once it's over, we're going to be friends for the next 364 days.
And for this teacher, whose career has spanned nearly 5 decades, he's set on the Beavers being number 1.
This is year 48. I taught at Tazewell, and I taught at Graham, and so I love all 3 schools, but now at this point, I'm a Beaver. So best of luck to the G-Men starting next week. I hope they win every game all the way through the state championship game.
So I have to ask, who's going to win on Friday?
Well, 2 times out of 3, the Bluefield High School team comes out on top. You could look it up.
We can be enemies for one night. Like myself, I'm a Beaver fan 9 games out of the year. The 10th game is the Graham year.
And no matter who wins the football game Friday night, the G-Men or the Beavers, one thing is for sure. Gene Leedy will do everything he can to see it all play out right in front of him. I can't believe that you've made it to 57 of the 58 games. It's incredible.
I don't plan on ever quitting. Yeah, I guess when they stick me in the ground, I guess I'll have to miss one.
Right, only time. But someone better still tell you what the score is.
I'll be watching.
Yeah, and thousands of other people will be watching the game as well. We're hearing anywhere from 14 to 16,000 people will be out here at Mitchell Stadium tonight. As you can see, the fans are starting to pack the stadiums. They're starting to find their seats. And I also want to let our viewers know about a couple things that are new and different this year. The first thing is a clear bag policy. So if you have a purse just like mine, this will be searched. So come in with a clear bag if you want to get right through the lines. If not, if you have a purse, that will be searched. And that might hold you up a few minutes. And also parking, police officers will be guiding you specifically on where to park. And I'm going to bring in Chief Meteorologist Catherine Thompson now. We had some rain earlier during the 5 o'clock hour. And Catherine, it was feeling humid for a little bit. It's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable now.
It definitely does. That shower actually helped us out, lowered temperatures a bit, humidity not quite as high as it was. So we'll take it. And the good news is we're not talking about a widespread threat of rain tonight. Anything we'll see will be just like what we saw. Very brief, isolated, kind of hit or miss. And that's what we're expecting for really all of our Football Friday games tonight.